Hi, I'm Kyla Cullinane with Marketing Profs. He's written one of the top business books of the year. That's according to Forbes magazine and Business Week. Now author Barry Schwartz is at it again. He's penning a book called Practical Wisdom. Marketing Profs invited him to be a keynote speaker at the B2B forum in Boston. Listen to what he had to say about practical wisdom.
Practical wisdom is the ability to do the right thing in the right way at the right time. And it derives from the philosopher Aristotle, the idea. And it's very much about how people treat other people. And so the parent needs to know when to be stern with a kid and when to be permissive. The teacher needs to know when to encourage students and when to sit on them. The employer needs to know when to give employees autonomy and decision control and when to essentially tell them what to do. The doctor needs to know when to be straight and honest with a patient and when to be kind. All interactions that people have with one another require a kind of judgment, and that's what practical wisdom is about. It's being able to use judgment so that you can do the right thing. As a business tool, you have to be careful, because essential to practical wisdom is that you are trying to do the right thing for other people. And so if you have these skills, you can use them to manipulate other people, which is to say, to sell them things that they don't really need and don't really want. And that's not what I'm talking about, but you know, a refined sense of how to talk to other people to get what you want is not so different from a refined sense of how to talk to other people so that they get what they want. My hope is that people will realize that if you treat customers well, they come back. And it is worth it to have the same customer 10 times than to have 10 customers one time each. As a small business owner, I think that the story I have to tell has two, I think, potentially important lessons. One is, how do you manage the people with whom you work? How do you create an environment in which people are raring to come to work and raring to help one another achieve whatever the organizational objectives are? And second, how do you treat customers so that they're not suspicious, they're not always protecting themselves against being taken advantage of, they're willing to have informal deals with you because they know that you can be trusted, and presumably that means that they're willing to come back for more. So that's, you know, that's the business connection. What's more important from my point of view is that I think that this is really a key ingredient to knowing how to live a good and happy life. And so that you are better at business is a small piece of the much bigger piece, which is that you'll be a better friend and a better parent and a better marital partner and a better citizen if you take the sort of message that I'm offering to heart. I've written a book on choice, which has gotten a lot of attention on how people are so overwhelmed with the number of options they face that instead of being liberated by all of it, they're paralyzed. And that marketers can do a huge favor to their customers by simplifying and reducing options instead of exploding them. And that would be a much more sensible thing for me to talk about, but they wanted me to talk about wisdom. I didn't think I was writing a book about marketing. I thought I was writing a book about the psychology of decision making. But it turned out to be a business book. You know, Forbes called it one of the 10 best business books of the year, and Business Week did the same thing, and I didn't write a business book. But now, you know, what happened is that once that book came out, people could see everywhere what was sort of in plain sight, but they hadn't paid attention to. You buy jeans, there are 300 jeans to choose from. You buy pain reliever, there are 500 different kinds of pain reliever in the drugstore. You start tearing your hair out. You know, life shouldn't be this complicated, but it is, and it is in every respect. You know, telephone, what kind of phone should you buy? What kind of phone plan should you get? When I was growing up, there was one phone company, there was one phone, and there were drawbacks to that, but at least that was one thing you didn't have to make a decision about. And there's nothing that we don't have to make decisions about now. So it became a business book. To be the trusted supplier of X, Y, or Z, it seems to me, is invaluable, especially in a world that is so full of people who pretend to be. I think reputation is just invaluable now, more than it ever was before. It's become not just a Yiddish word, but mensch is, I mean, literally it means man, but it means somebody who stands up and does the right thing, whatever that may be. And you can't look at a list to tell you what the right thing is. The Ten Commandments is a nice set of, it's a nice list of instructions, but unfortunately it's not complete, and you don't know when these various commandments apply, so you have to be able to use your judgment. And that's what a mensch does, and I think we want these kind of people. Don't you want that when you go to the doctor? To have this feeling that this person, there's nothing this person cares more about at this moment than your welfare. Who thinks that now? Who goes to the doctor with that kind of confidence? As soon as you leave the doctor's office, you go to Medline to make sure that what the doctor told you makes sense, or to Dr. Coop online or some damn thing. You Google whatever he says you've got, you get 600,000 hits, then you try to figure out which of those little stories is the right one, and then you sort of come back to the doctor waving this printout to say, I'm not an idiot, you can't put one over on me. Who wants that kind of relationship with a doctor? So,
and it's the same thing with a business person.
Absolutely, and it's exactly the same thing with a business person.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out other videos on the Marketing Profs website.